Hello everyone. We are now going to start topic 2 of Introduction to Computer Science. The goal of this topic is to learn what programming is. In topic 1, we studied what computation is. We learned that computation is created by combining various basic elements, the elements of computation. The written instruction for that combination is a program. Programming is to create that program. In topic 1, we did very simple basic programming. But actually, a variety of techniques have been developed. Here, we will study several representative techniques for programming using examples. We will study together in 3 parts for this topic. Here, for the first topic, I will provide very basics of array and how to use array. And then for this first part, we will do the practice exercise, and then I will give one project, how to use arrays. Now let's start the part 1 and talk about arrays. An array is a basic method for managing multiple pieces of data. Let's look at the animation program we did before in topic 1 as an example. This is a kind of program we created. First, recall that we used variables for creating picture. For example, in this program, we use 10 variables and then store an extremely large number to each variable for expressing each line of picture. Then we output them to the screen. Note that for outputting 10 variable values to the screen, we wrote 10 puts commands. Some of you might find it bothersome to write the same puts command over and over again. In this example, we only needed 10 variables, but it would be very annoying to write it over and over again when using 20 or 30 variables. This is where an array really comes in handy. A standard variable is regarded as one box, which can keep only one data, that is one number. On the other hand, an array consists of multiple boxes. You can put many pieces of data one at a time. This basic method, therefore, lets you manage multiple pieces of data as a batch. For example, consider an array D. Like standard variables, we can give a name to an array, like a variable. Note that many boxes can be arranged within array D. In this case, there are 10 boxes lined up. Each of the boxes can be referred to by a number called an index. For example, box 9 can be referred as A blanket 9. Note that the index starts from 0 in Ruby. Here is a way to use this array to keep 10 numbers for our picture. The program is quite similar to the previous one. We can assign a number to each box of the array D, just like we assigned the number to each variable before. Now let's take a look at how to use this array, how to display it on the screen after assigning numbers to this array. This is a method for outputting to the screen. This one is almost identical to the original program. For each element of the array, we write a command output to the screen. On the other hand, this one is a way to write it concisely. The yellow part corresponds to each original pieces of data being written out. Let's have a look. Here we use the variable k for the index of the array. We initially assign 0 to this variable because we want to output from D0. As you can see, there is a loop here. This one is a while statement. Do you remember? For a while statement, while this condition holds, the statement up to end is repeated. In this case, while k is less than 10, these two statements are repeated. Initially, because k is 0, which is less than 10, the computer executes this puts command, that is output D0. Then the value of k is increased by 1, so k plus 1, that is 0 plus 1, that is 1, is stored in k. Okay. Then going back to the while condition, and because the value of k, which is now 1, is less than 10, this put command is executed, and the D1 is displayed on the screen. And k is increased again by 1, becoming 2, and so on. And then this part is repeated 10 times until k becomes 10. In this way, this yellow part gives the same output corresponding the 10 puts command written in red in this program. This loop using a while statement can be more simply like this. This is a new way of writing a loop called the for statement. This for statement is convenient for expressing somewhat standard repetitions. For example, by writing this way, we can express a command to repeat this while moving k from 0 to 9. Therefore, when executing this part, k is set first 0, then the command puts is executed. Okay, that displays the D0 on the screen, and afterwards k is increased by 1 by 1. So next one is D1 and so on, okay, until it reaches to 9. Okay, in this way. Okay, so this one is executed 10 times. Then for statement is over. When using while loop, we had to explicitly write a statement to increase the value of k by 1. But this for statement does it automatically. So it's very convenient for structured loop. Especially with arrays, this for statement of this type is very convenient. Using array like this allows us for doing this classic loop over and over again. So it's very convenient. When an array is used in this way, the previous program of the left side becomes the one stated in the right side. Note that 10 puts command can be written more simply in this way, okay, by using a for statement. Of course, it doesn't help you if you design a picture and put the numbers for designing pictures by putting those numbers in variables. You just have to write this part. Okay? But the subsequent output to the screen, for example, this part can be stated much more simply. Well, the difference may not be so appealing with 10 variables, but imagine the case where you needed to use 100 variables. Some of you may wish we had learned this in the previous session, but that was the basics. And we wanted to study what was possible by using only the basics. So I decided not to teach you this technique. The idea of arrays was introduced back when programming started, and it's very convenient.